Wow, would you look at that? I've been managing to maintain a monthly series for like almost 6 months now. Our first question of the day comes from Sexual Prodigy and says, how big been... The first question for the day comes from Sophie the Destroyer, which is a great name by the way. And Sophie asks, what do you like most about yourself? I really like my ability to procrastinate. I find it impressive sometimes. Have you ever reached that point of procrastination where you're like, okay, I'm playing this game now, but before I do my work, I want to do this other game as well. So you put off playing the other game so that it becomes longer until you have to work. Like, I always find that I'm able to reach new levels of procrastination that impress even me. Sophie also asks, what sounds cause you severe nostalgia attacks? And you know what? I think I might just play the sounds. See if you know where they're from. So we've got... And then we've got... That one's very important to me. And then finally we've got... And if you recognize that last one, yes, I watched the bad one growing up, not the good one. It still holds a very special place in my heart though. Jackson asks, do you have or have you had any pets in your life? Here's a video of my cat. Chancellor asks, why do you live? My mum made me do it. Titan asks, what do you want to see in the next Star Wars movie? I just hope they do Kylo's arc justice. In episode 7, we saw him without his mask. In episode 8, we saw him without his shirt. And I invite you to come to the only natural conclusion of those events. Are you going to do a remake of Happy Llama Sad Llama? Mr. Iglet asks, how soon are you planning to rebrand your channel again? Because we both fucking know you're gonna do it, Jay. The funny thing is, I'm pretty sure that this question was asked before the recent rebrand of my channel where I updated like the cover art and stuff. So there's your answer. I'm sorry. Although hopefully sometime soon I am hoping to just drop the sins from my name and be Exci permanently, and hopefully after that no more rebrands except like maybe profile picture changes and stuff. Jared asks, good luck to you Jay and may the swagger be with you. That's not a question Jared, but from you it doesn't have to be. Mauleman Bad asks, you have the best character arc on EFAP. How will Disney ruin it when they buy EFAP from Mauler for £10 billion? In an attempt to recapture the magic of the originals, Disney will take me back to the Cinema Sins Rhino Milk era of my character, and a lot of people will enjoy this, but a lot of other people will say it shows a blatant disregard for all of the character development I went through in subsequent episodes. Grey Canadian asks, how difficult is it for you to balance your school and YouTube, especially with the short podcasts you go on? It isn't at all. I quit school because I wasn't enjoying the course I was on. I'm financially stable at the moment, and if I ever lose that financial stability, I can always go back to study something else. Drew asks, can we expect the return of the usual Sins format anytime soon? Yes, absolutely. I plan to make a video of that every couple of months or so. Jack asks, can you convince me into getting Subnautica? Absolutely. Subnautica is an amazing open world survival game with horror elements to it. And those elements come in the form of some of the best atmosphere to create tension I've ever seen in a game. Also, if you're a big fan of sci-fi mysteries like I am, there's a lot of that in there too. The whole of the game is set underwater, and since you're playing as a human being, a pathetic land-based creature, that goes a long way to making you feel vulnerable as you play. And if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, then definitely pick up Subnautica, or Subnautica Below Zero, which I actually think I prefer. Which characters should have the most screen time in Endgame? Thanos, Thor but with his long hair back, Patience Phillips, Edgy Spider-Man, Iron Man but in like dad mode, and Mechathune, the true big bad of the MCU and also of bullshit fucking unpreventable OTKs. Like, fuck off. Just fuck off. Who would be your 3 fantasy podcast guests? I'd invite Hitler and then 2 of the best roast comedians I could find. And then we'd do a roast of Hitler. I feel like that would be fun. And also, you know, might get some media attention. I feel like that might be like a big talking point amongst quite a few people. So it probably has the added benefit of being quite good for my relevance. You could have waited 2 minutes and posted this at 4:20. I'm genuinely sorry, and will try harder next time. Thoughts on anime? One Punch Man is good, and that's the only one I've seen. Noah asks, what are your least favourite movies? Teeth, Batman and Robin, and Shrek the Third. What are your favourite movies? Teeth, Batman and Robin, and Shrek the Third. And do you like edible arrangements? I googled them, and they look cool. That's all I can tell you. Follow up, what is your favourite fruit, or movie about fruit? I like strawberries, and are there any movies about fruit? Like, what? Of the 7 films I've seen, I don't think any of them were about fruit, I'm afraid. Pancakes or waffles? Don't make me choose! Top 10 movies that you haven't seen and actually really want to watch out of the ones recommended. Well, first of all, of course, we have the second and third Lord of the Rings films. Then, I really want to see I Am Legend, although I hear the book is much better. The OG Terminator is way up there. The Lion King is way up there. Hang on, what is this footage? I've not even seen this film, but I still know this is the wrong B-roll. There we go. I really want to see Aladdin. Stop. Get out of here. Well, actually, I really just want to see all of the classic Disney stuff. I've never really gone back to go and watch all of the Disney that was before my time. And I was born in '99, so there's a lot of Disney I'm missing out on. What inspired you to start uploading again after a few years of nothing? And what are your plans for the future of your channel? I just had an urge to make some more online content. I don't really know what brought it on, but there was about a 6-month period when I was trying really hard to figure out something to actually make. For a while, my heart was set on, and bear with me on this, educational comedy videos that explain historical events using sock puppets through song. Eventually I settled on CinemaSins, and everything I've made since then has sort of been a natural evolution from that point. As far as the future goes, I'd just like to let my content keep evolving naturally. Although I don't really want to let any series ever die permanently on this channel unless I just sort of don't like it at all. So if I realize it's been ages since I've made an episode of something, like for example the comment responding videos I haven't done one of for a while, I'll probably go back and do another episode of that. How come I can sometimes see the moon even though it's daytime? That means you have special powers and you're incredibly lucky. Just a little input, I've noticed a lack of comedy in your recent videos, which is a shame because your weird comedy is one of my favourite content from your channel. Could you try and add a bit more comedy to your videos? Well, I'm sorry if I haven't managed to make you laugh recently, but that's definitely not for a lack of effort on my part. I have been trying to make my videos funny, although I guess my newer formats don't lend themselves to the same kind of jokes I used to make, which is why I'm gonna try and keep those older formats alive as I move forward. I'm just not gonna do them as regularly anymore. If you could have one fictional pet as your pet, what would it be? I mean, is there any other choice? If you had to live as a fictional character in their universe for a year, who and why? No coming back from death or super healing unless it's typical in that world. So yeah, dead, you're dead. I mean, Mary Sue was originally a character, right? Like that trope name comes from somewhere. So I feel like being her wouldn't be too hard. I don't know what she's from, but I guess that's what I'll pick. And that's really everything I've got for you today. I know I wasn't able to get to all of the questions I was asked for this month, so I'll come back to some of those in the next Q&A. But other than that, I hope you've enjoyed. If you have, there's a link on screen now to a playlist of this series. I'll see you on Wednesday for part 3 of the CinemaSins breakdown. Goodbye.